Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Caterina, or Kat, and this is Infinite Wellness Within. In today's Pick a Card reading, our topic is shining light on what's on your mind. So this can really be anything on your mind, anything you're worried about or curious about, and we will get some information for you. Once you choose your card, you can find the timestamps in the description box below, which will take you to your reading. If you want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is also linked below. Please remember that is the only way to book any of my services with me. If anyone ever reaches out to you, just know that is not me. All right, so I have the Hermit card from 3 different decks, and that's how you will choose your group today. So let me go through these for you. Group number 1, this is your Hermit card from the Triple Goddess Tarot, and you also have the Flower Agate. Group number 2, this is your Hermit card from the Wanderer's Tarot, and you have the Cinnabrite. Group number 3, this is your Hermit card from the tarot deck When Women Had Wings, and you also have the Sunstone. Please take your time choosing your card or cards. It's perfectly fine to choose more than one if you're drawn to more than one, and I'll see you in your readings. Hello, group number 1. You have the Flower Agate, and this is your Hermit card from the Triple Goddess Tarot. So I'll put this back in the deck, and we will start with your Oracle cards. All right, Spirit, what can you tell us for group number 1? Shining light on what is on group number 1's mind. You have the Ancestral Force and Completion with number 21. So this card corresponds to the World card in the tarot deck. So it definitely looks like you are at the end of a cycle. And some of you may be wondering what comes next. Others of you may not quite be aware of the end of a cycle, but you have this kind of feeling that something's going on, something feels like it's not quite right. So we'll get more information as we go along, but there definitely is an element here of like the unknown, not knowing what is ahead of you, feeling a little bit unsure about things. Kind of like you have like an unsure footing, or you're treading very, very carefully going forward. Because I feel some of you, this ending, you know that this was on its way, and then others of you were a little bit taken by surprise by this ending and this new beginning. But there definitely is a new beginning. There definitely are things coming together, and I feel things are going to come more into focus for you in the coming, for some of you, days even. It doesn't feel like it's that far off before you get more information about what is next. So let's see what you have here. This makes so much sense. The Shadow, Trials and Tribulations, number 18. So this corresponds to the Moon card in the tarot deck. So our topic today is shining light on what's on your mind. Definitely your first 2 cards are showing that there's something unknown going on. And it's really interesting that you have the World card here, and then on this card, you have a door here and you have a door here. So absolutely you're closing one door and opening another door. And again, this card basically talks about what I said with your very first card. There's an unknown element here. I feel some of you are at a crossroads. Some of you may have been placed on this path, where you didn't necessarily want to make changes in your life right now, but the universe had other plans for you. There's definitely a feeling of confusion here and of a little bit of anxiety, maybe a lot of anxiety for some of you. There's like a fear of the unknown as well. A spirit is telling me that your intuition will absolutely help guide you in the right direction, but let's get some more information for you. What else can you tell us for group number 1, please? Wow, I'm curious what that card is. Did you see it jumping there? All right, so let's see. You have Elder Dragonfly, Travel Through Dreamtime. Okay, this is really interesting because the Moon card can also talk about dreamtime. It's also number 14 here. So I feel like there's something absolutely mysterious going on. I feel like you need to follow your intuition, which could be a little bit, so following your intuition is probably going to look a little bit different than the next logical step. So whatever you have going on here, yes, it's causing you a lot of confusion and something is slightly off balance or in limbo or something like that. And so what I'm feeling with this card is that to get things in balance, you need to listen to your intuition and you need to listen to your heart. Otherwise, you could miss a critical turn on your path, or you could miss a critical ingredient on your path. Because it's like everything needs to come together for this to make sense to you. But the way that it's very strange. There's something very complicated in a sense going on with your situation where it's like you're trying to make sense of things and it's just not making any sense at all right now. But what's going to happen if you follow your heart, things are going to make sense much quicker than if you go the path of logic. So let's keep moving on so that we can get some more information about what exactly is going on for you. Okay, so you have number 6, Elder Blue Jay, Speak Up. All right, so interesting that you have number 6 because that corresponds to the Lover's card in the tarot deck. So do you see how it's saying follow your heart and speak up for yourself? I feel like this is what it feels like to me. It feels like you have 2 paths that you could go here, right? So one door is closing, another door is open, but there's also 2 different directions that you can go. And it feels almost like you're expected to go one way because that's what society says you should do, or that's what family says you should do, or your partner says you should do, or maybe your logical mind says that's what you should do. But when you listen to your heart, when you listen to your intuition, it shows a very different path that may not make sense right now. So let's say, for instance, this is just going to be a simple example. Let's say like you spent a lot of time, a lot of money studying a particular career field. And so maybe here with completion, you're graduating. Now, I know a lot of people watching this, you're way past the age of graduating from college, but just, bear with me, listen to the example, and then you can kind of plug in your own situation. So let's say you graduate from college, and this might be your literal situation. You graduate from university, with whatever degree you got here, and you had planned on going into that career field. But now that you've completed all these years of school and spent probably a lot of money doing that, you feel like it's no longer in your heart to do that and to pursue that particular path. And you're thinking about, completely throwing that out the door, walking away from that and following your heart and starting your own business, which is something that you've realized that, it was a hobby of yours. It was like your first love, but you didn't know how to make money doing it. But now you're kind of realizing, what, I think now I could actually do something with that. I could make money. I could start my own business. And that's where my heart is. Whereas everybody around you is like, but you just spent all this time and money. How are you going to change direction now? And what Spirit is saying here is speak up for yourself and do what is in your heart, because that's what's going to bring you happiness. That's what's going to bring you balance in your life. So again, just, a simple example that, most people can say, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. And then see how it relates metaphorically to your situation. What else can you tell us? Okay, let's see. 43 thoughts, cultivate your ideas. Do you see where we're going here with this reading? So again, there's a lot of thought going on here, and you have ideas about something that could be a little bit off the beaten path, or it could be something completely different than where you thought your life was going. However, by following that path that is sometimes the less traveled path, I just feel like you will find so many amazing things just blossoming right in front of you. And cultivate your ideas. Once again, what is in your heart? What's your dream? Right? Because the moon card, right? That makes me think of nighttime, obviously. Dreams. Travel through dream time is what this card says. So definitely you want to think about, where is your heart trying to lead you? All right, what else can you tell us for group number 1, please? Okay. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. This is interesting because I look at the 2 little angels here. I feel like you have, what is that saying? You have the devil and the angel on each of your shoulders, because I feel like you're literally caught in between 2 things. It's interesting that this is going below the World card here, because you could literally go either way. You have free will. You can do what you want. But it's like you're taking a pause before taking that next step. And what I'm seeing here is that if you follow the path of your heart instead of your mind, once again, not your mind, but like your logical thought, that's where you're going to find the most success, because that path leads to emotional abundance in addition to other abundance, other prosperity. So when I talk about abundance and prosperity, that can definitely be money. It can mean, friendships, relationships, just your environment, cultivating things, growing things. And so that's what I'm seeing for you. Let's see what else we have here. You have the moon card again. Oh my gosh, it's just fascinating to me, the cards that are coming up here. Once again, look at this moon card. So there's a mirror here, and you are looking at, oh my gosh, the energy that I'm getting. It looks here like you're looking at your future based on what is expected of you, what you were expected to do next after this completion here. And when you really get into your feelings of that, it doesn't feel right. I mean, look at this image here. You can clearly see this person's face right here does not match up with this here. And it feels like you would be giving away part of your soul, or you would be lacking something in your life that would make you feel empty, in a sense. And so you're just struggling so much right now trying to figure out, where do I go? How do I make this work? What do I do? Well, you know what you need to do is speak up for yourself. Listen to your heart. Listen to your dreams also, like quite literally when you're dreaming at night, because I feel like your loved ones who passed over, ancestors, spirit guides, any higher powers that you believe in will be communicating with you in your dreams. Yes, this situation, there's a lot of mystery regarding this. I mean, look at your world card here. Even the face is covered. So there's something that you can't quite see. It's almost like you can't quite put your finger on it, but something doesn't feel right with going ahead with a plan that you already had. And Spirit is saying, listen to those thoughts, okay, thoughts over here. Listen to that, because that is your intuition trying to tell you something. And it's not like you're in danger if you go forward with this first plan. It's just that there's a better path for you. All right, so here you have the 10 of Cups. Exactly. You're in kind of this conundrum place where it's causing a lot of confusion, and it's like, this is what you want. You want the 10 of Cups. And I feel that at one point in time, that first path, you felt that that would bring you the 10 of Cups. But something changed within you from point A to point B. So, you know, like, let's go back to the example of if you were in school. So you started school here, and then you go through all these years of school, and by the time you graduate, you're not the same person anymore a lot of times. And so your interests change, you change spiritually, you know, whatever it is. So I feel like your priorities have shifted, your view on things has shifted, and Spirit says it's okay to shift the plan as well. All right, so yeah, look at that. You have the 8 of Swords. You feel trapped, you feel stuck. And what's interesting about this is this person seems to not know how to get out of this little maze, as you could call it right here, because the person is blindfolded. So what does it look like? It looks like it's dark. Remember your 2 moon cards. So, but it's actually, the sun is actually out. So Spirit is saying that it's critical that you listen to your intuition, because that will guide you. That will shine light on the right path for you. Yeah, I can absolutely see in these cards that there's something that is, it's almost causing like this crippling anxiety where you're almost placing yourself in a suspended state, in a place of limbo, because it's like you're, there's so much confusion. It's like you can't move right or left or up or down. You can't go in any direction, because it's just like you don't know what is the right answer. All right, so here you have the 9 of Wands. So this is actually a very positive sign given your situation. What I'm seeing here is that you're very protected, and I do see that there's a resolution coming up fairly soon. Now, what's interesting here in this card is it looks like a rose garden or some rose bushes, I should say here. And look at this card over here, cultivate your ideas. And this person is cultivating a garden here. So it feels like, how do I put this into words? There is, okay, let me see how to, okay. So first of all, Spirit is saying, don't like beat yourself up over this. Don't be critical of yourself if you want to change course right now, because there is a sense here of kind of like talking down to yourself or something like that. And Spirit says that there's no need for you to do that, because everything is going to work out in your favor. And Spirit is also saying that it's okay to slow down and take some time to think about things and to rest a little bit before you move on to the next stage, before you make a decision. Yeah, so here you have the Empress card. So, okay, so 9 and 9, does that mean anything to anybody? Number 9, because you have 9 here, and I'm picking up number 9 with this card. I feel like, oh, okay, maybe it's 9 months. So maybe 9 months from when you make a decision is when you're really going to start to see things coming together for you. Some of you maybe already made a decision and now you're thinking like, oh, maybe I made the wrong decision. Can I go back or should I stay? Should I, let this play out a little bit and see what happens? So there is a sense of slowing down and allowing things to kind of come to fruition, allowing things to play out as they will, because you will be receiving insight into something that you cannot see right now. So let's look at this card. So the Empress here is pregnant. So do you see what I'm saying about you can feel something, you know something's there, but you can't quite see it. It's not in front of you in the form that would make sense to you, because the child has not been born yet. But you know the child's there, you just can't feel it outside of the womb yet. And so I feel like that's kind of like you have this thought, you have this idea, and it's like not tangible in your hand yet, but it will be. You just need to give it some time. And so this here is following your heart. This is following your heart. So I feel if you follow your heart, yes, it may set you back, in a sense, set you back with time. Whereas if you go with the most logical thing, I feel you can just step right into something and you will be progressing along. If you follow your heart, it's going to take a little more time to get this thing moving, but Spirit says it's going to be worth it. Yeah, look at that. You have the Knight of Wands. You need to follow your passion. You need to follow your heart. Absolutely. Follow your passion, follow your heart, follow something, your intuition even. If you're feeling pulled, like a magnetic pull to go in one direction versus the other, that's the direction you need to go. If something doesn't feel right with one direction, that's, your intuition trying to tell you something. Is it going to be perfect when you follow your heart? No. When is it ever perfect though, right? You're going to come upon certain problems that you're going to have to figure out, but you would do that if you followed the other direction as well. So, and I feel like these problems, you kind of just breeze through them. And when I say problems, I mean, it's just like day-to-day things, little inconveniences that, I wish we didn't have to go through, but that's just life. So yeah, it's not like anything massive that I'm seeing so far, just little hiccups here and there that you're going to have to figure out along the way. The Eight of Pentacles. Do you see what I'm saying? So I am picking up so strongly that there is something that you love doing, or a place that you would love to go. Something like that that makes you feel like you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. That's what I'm seeing with this card. And if this is something like kind of the example I gave earlier, like if you went to school and then you decided, I don't really have an interest in that anymore, I want to turn my passion into a business. You doing something like that, even if it's in that similar realm, you would be very successful, very, very successful. Is it going to take a little bit of time? Yes, but I feel it would happen quicker than what you or what other people might tell you. And I also feel what I'm feeling with this card is that I think I said something about this similar earlier. If you go the other direction, the direction of what you think you should be doing or what other people say you should be doing, I'm feeling like if you go that way, you may feel imprisoned in the sense that you wish you could go back in time and change things. Or maybe you're feeling that way right now. Maybe you did do that and now you're feeling imprisoned and now you're wanting to make a change. Spirit says it's not too late to make a change. It's absolutely not too late. Yeah, the Two of Cups. Do you see here, by following your heart, these things are coming together for you in really, really positive ways. And it's like, so what I'm seeing, if you go the other direction, eventually you would want to change it. And again, you would have that regret saying, why didn't I listen to my intuition? Because now I've been in this other situation for so long, I don't know if I can change it now. But I already told you that if that is your situation, yes, you can change it. It's not too late. But if you just follow your heart to begin with, look at this tree. Look at what you have built here, how strong and tall that is, and everything just aligns perfectly for you. So just think about that when you're making a decision to go forward. And everything just kind of magically comes together for you. Yeah, look at that. So you have the Four of Cups here. So there's a couple things going on here. I feel this is you right now contemplating things, not sure what to do, feeling frustrated, feeling anxious, feeling like you want more. You know, you want more out of life. Something isn't quite fulfilling. It's not as fulfilling as you thought it was going to be. Or you're just getting a feeling like, oh no, I'm halfway through this thing and oh, I probably shouldn't have done that because now I'm a different person than I was when I started that. So can I back out of it now? Yes, absolutely you can. Absolutely. You know, life is all about learning lessons and, you know, so yeah, sure you can. Absolutely. Even if it was like something that costs a lot of money, like school, it's okay because you'll be able to pay that off. And, you know, obviously we need money to survive for food and shelter and all of that. But ultimately, whatever this is in your heart has more meaning than any money that you might lose because you're going to change course. Yeah. Isn't that interesting too? You have the Four of Cups here and then the Eight of Swords where you're kind of stuck trying to like see what is the solution. So let's see what else you have here. Yeah, you have the Two of Pentacles. Interesting. You have this pathway again. So, and you have the pathway here, and even look here, you have a pathway. Hold on a minute. There's an energy here that I'm trying to connect with. What is this? What is it trying to tell me? Why am I hearing you can have both? What does that mean? You can have both. Oh, okay. So for some of you that have already gone through this and you have regret about going in a certain direction, there is something from doing that, from going through that process that will actually benefit you if you change course. So was it a waste of time? I mean, it depends on how you look at it. Ultimately, though, no, not really, because there's something that you're going to take with you. There's something of value that you will be taking with you from that on this new path. So look over here. So something over here on this door that you're leaving with the world card here, you're taking something with you from here as you go over to this door here. So it's kind of like you're not leaving this behind. You're not leaving this and going into this empty-handed. Somehow this gave you a little bit of a leg up into this new situation. That's what I'm feeling here. Now, I'm also feeling that going in the direction of your heart, things are much more balanced. Absolutely. And I know I've been seeing that throughout the reading, but I wanted to point that out because it came up here too. All right. You have the Emperor. Whoo, interesting. Emperor. Look at that card. Okay. So Spirit is saying don't back down from the plans that are in your heart. I feel like you're very protected. And yeah, I feel like it's very, very scary to take this leap, to go in this direction. But interesting that you have cultivate your ideas and thoughts here. And that's literally what the Emperor does. The Emperor cultivates his thoughts. He comes up with a plan. And you know what? The Emperor creates that plan. And it all comes to life and it has this very strong foundation. So yeah, speak up. Don't back down from what is truly in your heart. So very interesting reading. That's what I have for you today. I hope this helped you. I hope it did shine some light on your situation. If you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching. group number 2, you have the Cinnabrite, and this is your Hermit card from the Wanderer's Tarot. So I'll put this back in the deck and we'll start with your Oracle cards. What can you tell us for group number 2, please? We are shining light on what is on group number 2's mind. You have number 9, the loner, isolation, and introspection. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. You're not going to believe this, but this is actually the Hermit card in the tarot deck. So there's clearly something that you're trying to get a perspective on. You're trying to understand possibly what direction to go. You might be trying to make a decision with something. Spirit says it's important right now that you stay grounded and you stay focused on the topic at hand. So I suppose don't get distracted by, what does that mean? Don't get distracted by shiny objects. Very interesting. So that might mean something to you. Oh, okay. Okay. Dig deeper into a situation because something might not be what it claims to be. Oh, interesting. So, yeah, I feel like this isn't the time, like right now, to make a critical decision. Tomorrow, it might be the time. But yeah, if you're trying to make a decision about something, slow down, slow down, because there could be something that you're not seeing about the situation that would come to light later on, and you don't want to get into any tricky situations. So that's part of what I'm seeing here. The other thing that I'm seeing is that some of you might be kind of like at a crossroads where you're trying to figure out like changes that you want to make in your life. And once again, it's like Spirit is saying, just slow down. There's no rush. Everything will come to you, because I see like things coming to the surface where things are starting to make sense for you. All right. So you have Father of Earth and generosity. Okay. This makes sense. So this is the King of Pentacles. And yeah, this makes sense in those 2 scenarios that I felt from this card. So definitely if you're looking to get into a new situation, you want to slow down because something is not what it seems, but there is something else that is what it seems. And this is the one that you want to go with here. Because this is a very honest card, very like stand-up card, like stand-up energy, trustworthy energy. And this path is actually the path of least resistance. This path, though, could take a little bit longer than the other path. So it's kind of like if something is too good to be true, it probably is. So just keep that in mind. And some of you may also be looking to change your life so that you can feel more stable in a situation. And so I feel that you will be receiving the answers soon regarding how to or where to go to feel more stable in your life, like to feel more stability in your life. What else can you tell us for group number 2? Oh, look at that. You have Elder Butterfly changes here and number 7. Ooh. So it definitely looks like some sort of change is upon you. And I feel like you kind of want to bring something into your life that has more meaning to you, something that you can grow, something that gives you more freedom, more independence. Something that maybe you want more financial stability, more financial freedom. Interesting, you have number 4, Elder Bee and work with purpose. So does this have something to do with career or work with purpose? Maybe with isolation and introspection, maybe you're not happy with your current work environment, and maybe, remember when I said, what did I say? What were my words about something? What did I say? Something glittering is not what it seems, or whatever that phrase is. I can't, it's like literally not in my mind at all right now. Sometimes I'm like in a literally like another universe when I do these readings and I can't remember what I said 2 minutes ago. Anyway, so some of you may have been promised something and then it didn't come to fruition. And so you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I need to make a change because I can't stay where I am for much longer. And so, yeah, if this has something to do with your work, maybe you want to change your job or change your career, do something that has more meaning for you. And it's interesting because number 4 corresponds to the Emperor card in the tarot deck. And so the Emperor and then the King of Pentacles here, I feel like you want to build a different life for yourself. And it definitely feels like you want more freedom in your life. So maybe you don't have a work-life balance. Maybe you've been making a lot of money doing something, but you're also working like way too many hours and you don't have a social life. You don't have a life outside of work. So that could also be a problem for you where you want more freedom, especially because you have the butterfly here and you have the bees here. So maybe travel is something you're looking at doing also. So you have number 19, Elder Frog, break generational cycles. So I definitely feel like this could literally be breaking generational cycles, but I feel it could also just be talking about breaking a cycle in your life. Like I was saying, if you don't have a work-life balance, that could definitely be a problem for you. Definitely I see a change coming up for you, something that maybe you were once comfortable doing, you're no longer comfortable doing that. And I can tell you for sure, the answers are like within your soul and they are going to come to light. You see the sun coming up here. So you will receive those answers. You will receive clarity and also confirmation about your path forward. All right, I feel this card wants to come out. Number 10, energy, rush of excitement. Ooh, you see, that's interesting because here you have number 9. So you're going to figure it out. And when you do, because number 9, number 10 here, you're going to be so excited that you're going to be jumping for joy. And I feel with the frog, you're going to be jumping into something new regarding this transformation. Now, the other thing that I'm seeing with this cup of tea here is that you're going to be relaxing a little bit more. You're going to feel more comfortable in your environment. You will be stepping into an environment that you can grow into and grow with. And it's also it's providing some sort of nourishment that was lacking in your life up until the point that you move into that new energy. Yeah. So you have new energy. Number 10 indicates a new cycle and then energy. So new energy is coming in for you. And it's absolutely connected to the King of Pentacles here because 41, right? So 40, a new cycle. 1 is, you've already stepped into that cycle. You're feeling comfortable. It's a new energy. It aligns with your soul. It aligns with that change that you wanted to make in your life. What else can you tell us for group number 2? The Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, okay. So it feels like something that was once blocked or closed off to you, like a pathway that was once closed to you is now opening. Interesting. What else does that mean? Yeah, I think that's it with this card. It's kind of like before you had a red light and now you have a green light to move forward with something. So this could be quite literal with something going on in your life where you were kind of in a holding pattern and now things have shifted so you can move forward with something. That's possible, but I also feel that it's definitely like you figure something out. You have that light bulb moment here, and then what happens is you slide into the Knight of Pentacles, where you're putting some sort of plan into action, which is going to lead you to the King of Pentacles. So yeah, you have a bit of growth to go within a situation in your life. So is it going to happen overnight? You're not going to get to the King of Pentacles overnight, but you will be taking steps to get to the King of Pentacles overnight once you receive this clarity with the Loner card. So you have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, do you see how things are coming together for you here? And look at like this sun here, like the sun in the clouds. Ooh, and also look at the ship coming in here. Oh, very interesting. Or is the ship going out? Yeah, I feel like, what is that saying with the ship? Oh my gosh, I can't think of it right now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What you have in these two cards, you have two modes of transportation. You have the horse and you have the ship here. So your ship has arrived, and you're going to get in the ship, you're going to get on the horse, and you're going to go somewhere. So this could mean literal travel for some of you, but for a lot of you, it's putting an idea into action. Again, remember, you have this rush of excitement. Why do you have this rush of excitement? Because here you were stuck on something, you didn't know your way forward. But here there's actually movement forward with a new idea, with some new passion in your life. And I feel what you were waiting for was this Ace of Wands. You were waiting for that other thing to come together, and now it's intertwined, and now it's like, okay, now you can take off and you can go. So the way that this comes into your life could be a little bit surprising. It could be out of the blue. Some of you just woke up one day, you had an epiphany, and you wanted to make some changes in your life. And Spirit is showing me that these changes are coming at the perfect time, and you will be successful. You will feel very, very happy that you made these changes. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Look at that. Ooh, you know what? It's like I feel like you are doing some soul searching and you find the pot of gold. I definitely feel like there's kind of a death and rebirth situation going on here. Some of you may have had like a health scare. Some of you may have had kind of like a great crumble in your life where things felt like they were just kind of falling down all around you. But that kind of dark night of the soul led you on a new path, right? Where something unexpected happens here, where you kind of unexpectedly land in the perfect place. Because I'm getting the sense that this person on this card, given your reading and your energy, didn't necessarily expect to land right here and to find all of these pentacles amongst the flowers. But that's just the way that your path took you. And so now here, I feel like you really do have a rush of excitement, because it's kind of an energy and a feeling of, oh, everything makes sense now. What didn't make sense over here, now I see the light. And then not only do you see the light and the answer to your question, but here you're moving forward. So wherever you're going, there's a lot of success waiting for you, a lot of stability. You feel very much at home in this new situation. The Ace of Swords, yeah. You have a new idea. And once you get a hold of this idea, there's no stopping you. There is no stopping you. So yeah, you may have a sudden urge to change your career, a sudden urge to move somewhere completely new and start a new job. I am just seeing so much prosperity coming in for you regarding finances. Um, Spirit is saying that you should pat yourself on the back because it was like a long time coming. Spirit is telling me that you finally figured things out and you should definitely follow this new path. Yeah, you have the Lover's card. There's something going on here. You have a decision to make to stay on the path that you've been on or to follow your heart, to create your own path. Some of you might want more independence than what you've had in the past regarding maybe your work life or your definitely work-life balance. And there's definitely a transformation going on here. I feel like what once held you back from making these changes is no longer there. So this could be a fear. This could be where something with the Ace of Swords, maybe something came to an end, which is then kind of cutting the cord that you had with something else in the past. And so now you have that freedom to pursue something else. Yeah, what else is it with this card? I'm not sure, but let me keep that in mind as we go forward. All right, so you have the Six of Pentacles. You know, I just feel like where you were, you no longer felt like you belonged there, or somebody did something wrong to you and you just got like the ick and you just wanted to leave. You know, kind of like if you were promised a promotion or something at work and then you didn't get it after you worked so hard for so many years and you proved yourself, you were always there early, always stayed late, and then you didn't get what you were promised or something like that. Or maybe you were working so much that you ended up having a health scare or something like that. And now you're realizing, you know, I can't work like that anymore. It's not worth it. Or maybe it was a very, very intense work environment that was causing you a lot of anxiety, or, you know, I'm hearing heart palpitations for some of you, which could be anxiety, right? But yeah, and so I just feel like you're seeing things for what they really are, and you're not happy with what you're seeing, and you're wondering, should I make a change? And Spirit says, yes, this is the perfect time for you to make these changes. Look at that 10 of Cups. Look at the energy. Look at the colors. It's vibrant. You have this sparkle back. You have your energy back. I feel that something was kind of sucking the life out of your soul. Isn't that interesting that this card over here is energy? And I mean, just kind of look at the difference here. I mean, I know over here with the loner, you're trying to figure something out, but look at the difference, because I feel this card here holds the energy of a place that you're not happy being. And that's why you're here, because you're saying, okay, I need to make some changes. Well, look at what happens when you do make those changes. It's amazing. You feel so much lighter, so much brighter. There's a sense of renewal and innocence, and just like you have time to enjoy life. You have time to pause and smell the roses in this card, whereas before, it almost feels like if you did that, you would have gotten in trouble, which, I mean, you know, it's like, okay, but we're adults here, so what does that mean? You know, it's almost like being micromanaged at work or something like that, where if you would have, you know, taken like a 1-minute break for literally to just regroup from something at work, you would have been yelled at, or you would have been, you know, reprimanded or written up or whatever. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't live like this. Maybe you were doing that to yourself too. Maybe you were micromanaging your life so much because something was taking up so much of your time that was the only way you could get everything done. Whatever it is, oh my gosh, it is so much lighter. Here you have the Five of Wands. This is an interesting Five of Wands, especially given your reading, because I feel that you were once back here and something kind of caught your attention where you started to feel like maybe this isn't where you want to be anymore. So exactly what I've been saying throughout the reading. And I mean, you can see this person has one leg up here on the brick wall. It's like, you know, is this my escape plan? Is this the way for me to, remember the elder frog in leaping out of a situation? Is this the way for me to change my situation? And what's interesting, remember what I said about the Ace of Wands, how something might come out of the blue? Well, here it kind of catches your attention. And I feel that when that happens, you start to think, oh, wait a minute, there's another option? I don't have to keep doing this back here. I could actually do this. I could jump on this boat or jump on this horse and do something else. And I'm hearing and still make the same amount of money. So that's a direct message for some of you who are worried about changing a career and wondering if you can make the same amount of money. Yes, absolutely you can. And I'm hearing that there's potential for you to make even more money. Now you have the Knight of Swords. Okay, so remember when I just said how here at the Five of Wands, you notice this ship and you say, oh, is there another way to do that? And then what happens here is you have the Knight of Swords. So what I'm seeing is you sit for a minute with the Loner card and you start thinking about, oh, there is another option. And then something clicks in your mind. And it's like, once you see it, you can't unsee it. You get a rush of excitement. You understand that change is here, almost knocking on your door because you have the horse, you have the boat here. And what happens is you jump on that horse and you don't look back. You leave something behind, you move forward, you know you've made the right decision, and you've left this, you know, back here. It's not necessarily chaos in the Five of Wands card. At one point in time, I feel like you very much enjoyed where you were or where you currently are. But after a while, it started to drain your energy and it's time for a change, which we see here with the Knight of Swords. The Four of Pentacles, yeah, it's scary because I feel like you have built something where you are or where you previously were. You can see the wall here. But what's interesting, when we look at the brick wall in this card, so this wall comes up almost to the top of this person's head. Here, you have these younger people here, and it's like not even up to their waist. So I'm seeing that what you once perceived as walls kind of holding you in a situation that's no longer comfortable for you. Once you realize that it's not actually holding you in, you start to see things differently. You get a different perspective and you start thinking, okay, maybe I can slowly but surely release myself from thinking that I'm stuck in this situation, because you're really not stuck. And once again, there's something coming up where you may feel like, well, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable financially. I've made a name for myself in this industry, if this has something to do with work. Or can I leave things behind that it's so familiar to me? Maybe you don't like change, but you're starting to see things differently. Yeah, absolutely. The Two of Pentacles. So again, there's like this work-life balance. There's also a clock here. It looks like it says 12:10. There's a new day. There's new energy. Let's say that you want to leave, like let's say you have a career where you established a name for yourself, you've made a lot of money, you're comfortable, but something just doesn't feel right and you want to start something new. Maybe you have a talent or a skill, or you want to travel the world, but you're wondering like, well, can I make money doing this? what I'm seeing here is something that you're stepping into. So you're leaving one thing to step into something else. Look at this. You have an audience here. So you're going to attract kind of like your soul tribe. You're going to attract customers, clients, interest in what you're doing. And so there's a lot of popularity, and there's something that you're building here. So some of you are absolutely going to be rebuilding your lives. And Spirit says, look, that's fine. What's most important is that you're happy, that you're healthy, because if you're really unhappy in a situation, that can absolutely wreak havoc on your internal body, your mind, your soul, your health. And, you know, once you don't have your health, it's very, very difficult to, you know, live exactly how you're supposed to be living. So just keep that in mind, that you will get everything back that you may be leaving behind. Finances, stability, friends, community, all of that will be coming into your life as new things, new energies. All right, so the Page of Cups, yeah. So you have the rainbow, and I feel that see, again, this is something surprising that's happening here. You're getting like this flash of insight. It's almost like if somebody says something to you, or if you see something and you're like, oh, wait a minute, say that again, because something clicks in your mind. And then you want to explore this, because I feel that you were once tied down by something. If you look here, there's a rope. I feel like this person is on a boat, but it's like tied to the shore. I forget what the term is. It's like anchored. There's like another term I was trying to think of, and then what's happening is once you get this surprise and you go through this introspection and you start looking at things differently, I feel like you say to yourself, well, why have I been tying myself down to this one option when there's other options out there? So are you ready to move forward with something? I feel like you don't have all of the information right now as of this reading, but I feel like it's very, very close. I mean, like right around the corner close, because you have changes here with the butterfly card. Also, this is number 7, which corresponds to the Chariot card. So another mode of transportation, and then you have the mode of transportation here with these 2 cards, and then the Knight of Swords down here. So if you've had a flash of insight or anything like that, Spirit says, listen to that, listen to your intuition, explore that, explore what that means. And most likely you will be making some changes in your life. So like the insight here is go with those changes, go with what makes you feel the happiest, the healthiest, and the most kind of like well-rounded in your life. So that is what I'm seeing for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, group number 3. You have the Sunstone, and this is your Hermit card from the tarot deck, When Women Had Wings. So I'll put this back in the deck, and we'll start with your oracle cards. All right, I feel like this one and the top one. Father God, radical truth. Well, I feel like you're trying to find the radical truth. That's why we are shining light on what's on your mind. So this card it talks about being authentic, finding the truth of the matter, doing things the right way, doing things the way that is right for you and your heart and your progress in this life. So I feel that some of you may be going through some changes in your life where you're starting to reevaluate where you are, where you've been, where you want to go from here, who you are, what is your soul trying to say to you? And I feel that once all of this makes sense to you, you're going to be making some for some of you, some pretty radical changes. I feel also some of you had a radical truth kind of imposed upon you, where you saw the truth of a situation, you saw the truth of a matter, and it kind of woke you up. It made you realize, for some of you, that you were in the wrong place, or that, you know, it had its time and place and it's time to move on. And so you're doing some soul searching, figuring out, okay, where do I go from here? So let's see what else you have. Okay, you have creature of water, creative expression, and number 29. So this is the Knight of Cups. That's what this card corresponds to. Absolutely, I feel that you're wanting more freedom. You're wanting to, I feel, do something for yourself, create a life that's more fulfilling for yourself. Perhaps a situation over here that was once fulfilling is no longer fulfilling, or maybe you thought it was something that it turned out not to be. And so you're gonna, instead of laying down and feeling depressed about it for the rest of your life, you're going to spread your wings, you're going to fly away from the situation, and you're going to move into new situations that do bring you this sense of like warmth and comfort, and like something that you can care about, something that you can nurture, and something that you can receive back from as well. So something that's more reciprocal. Yeah, I feel like there's something else going on with this card. Some of you are going to spread your wings and just follow your heart regarding career. That could be something else. I feel like you're trying to put the pieces together right now between your past or present and your future. What else can you tell us? And this one. Okay. Ooh, okay. Elder Starfish, retrieve your destiny. It's number 39. So let me point this out first. You have 29 here, you have 39 here. So first of all, there's a huge leap that you're going to be taking. Okay, let me put it this way. You're going to be taking a step forward, and it ends up being a huge leap into your destiny. The other thing is that you're absolutely, beyond a doubt, in between one door closing and a new door opening. I feel that it goes back to the radical truth. It almost feels like you thought you had something, like maybe you did have something, but you thought that it was something that it's not. So what I'm trying to say here is, it's like you thought it was better than what it actually is, because you got the radical truth about a situation. I feel like you were disappointed by something, and I feel like your response may have been at first that you were, laying down in bed, crying your eyes out, and you were very upset and you felt devastated. For some of you, that's what happened. For others of you, you were like, well, okay, it's been nice knowing you, bye. Whether this is a person, place, or thing. And you're like, okay, bye, I'm done. And you really didn't give it a second thought. No matter where you are, the ultimate result is that you're saying goodbye to something. You are repairing a part of your life that I feel became broken. And what you're doing is you're standing up for yourself. You're standing up for your truth. You're standing up for your own personal power. You're getting your personal power back. You're retrieving something that was lost, something that was damaged, something that was broken. You're fixing it. So if a part of your soul was broken during this process, you're fixing that, you're retrieving it, and you're moving on. And I can tell you, you move on, you close that door, and I don't think you look back. Maybe down the road you look back, but right now I think that you're like, okay, bye. That simple. Now, it doesn't mean that this is going to be an easy process, because I feel something deeply hurt you, but I'm telling you, I feel like you heal so much just because of the simple fact that you have freedom from something. And once you get this freedom, you start to see, almost like all of a sudden you're seeing things differently from a different perspective, and you're seeing red flags within the situation that you couldn't see or that you ignored when you were in the situation. So it's actually going to be very, very freeing for you. Because I feel like you ignored something in a situation, and now that you're away from the situation, it's like in your mind, you're saying, okay, now I'm safe. Now I can look back and say, wow, that really was not the best situation for me. And so that's when the sense of relief comes in. Okay, see, look at this. You have number 7, Elder Butterfly, and change is here. This is a beautiful, beautiful, amazing change that you're going through. It was a little bit of a painful process. I feel that things had to be completely broken down before everything could come back together and you emerge as this beautiful, amazing butterfly. Look at these 2 cards. Look at how amazing this is. You're spreading your wings. You're not just spreading your wings, you're finding your wings again. Yeah. You're not letting anything hold you back anymore. It's kind of like you're putting yourself first. You're putting your heart first. Your whole energy is changing. It feels like some sort of resource or vehicle or thought process, something that you can grab a hold of. It's almost like there's a kite, like a kite flying in the air that someone's flying, and you grab a hold of the string on the kite and you say, okay, just take me where you will. And you're retrieving your destiny. And all of a sudden you're lifted up off the ground and you're just following this kite, which is like this butterfly. And then you turn into this here where you kind of like sprout your own wings, and then you're just flying. And it's this amazing feeling of freedom. And you do so much healing here, so much healing. So let's see what else we have for you. Whew, very intense. All right, what is the most important thing from this deck for group number 3? I feel like this is it here. Ooh, 26 plot twist, unexpected development. Yeah, exactly, because you saw the radical truth about a situation. Exactly, but here's the thing. You can rewrite your future, right? Because I feel like you had something plotted out. You saw how it was going to go, and then you saw the radical truth of the situation, and it's like, okay, that's not the way things are going to go. But I'm just seeing like you're so empowered to not let this drag you down. Maybe it did for a little while, but I'm telling you, you're so powerful. You're like, well, okay, let me just, see what comes next, and I'm going to rewrite my own story at this point. Oh, this card is fascinating to me. Just your whole energy is so very interesting, because I feel through something not being what you thought it was and finally figuring that out, that's actually leading you to exactly where you're supposed to be. What else can you tell us for group number 3? Yep, the 8 of Wands. You see, again, you're flying through the air. Isn't that interesting? And look at these 2 wands here, how you have flowers on the wands. It is a gift for you to be seeing the truth. That's a gift. And you will be handed a gift as you move into a new situation that is very truthful, that is very, what you see is what you get with this new situation. Yeah, The Seven of Swords. So something was not what it appeared to be. Something was... in a sense, some of you may feel like you wasted your time, or somebody got one over on you, or something like that happened. I do feel like there's a silver lining within the situation. I feel like, well, I mean, the silver lining is that what's happening is you're going to end up exactly where you're supposed to be. It's just literally a plot twist, something that was unexpected. It's like, well, why did it take me in a roundabout way over here? Couldn't I have just gone here in the beginning? I feel like you did learn something through this process. We're leading up to the radical truth. I feel that you learned something. So you're not walking away empty-handed. And again, the energy that I'm getting from the person on this card, it's like, oh, well, you thought you got one over on me, but actually I have the last laugh in the situation. So once again, I feel you're walking away, you're wiping your hands clean, and you never look back. The Six of Cups, yeah. There is, again, there's something about your destiny that's coming up here with the Six of Cups, and it's interesting that it's right below retrieve your destiny right here. So I feel like you are, in a sense, it's like you're being reborn. Now, that may sound kind of strange, but it's like almost like you're being given a second chance at something where, because I feel other people in the situation might feel like this is the end. They may feel very devastated by the situation, but for some reason you're just like, well, okay, let me just pack up my things and, go on to something else. Which is kind of that second chance that you're getting here, because throughout this whole process, it's like you're realizing that you were putting your energy somewhere that in a place or a situation or with a person that wasn't appreciative of your energy. And then in this whole process, you're like, oh, okay, well, I kind of veered off course a little bit. So what's happening is you're getting back on course with where you're supposed to be right now. And once you actually get back on course and start moving forward, I feel that something unexpected happens in a very, very positive way, where you kind of land in the perfect place at the perfect time. Here you have the Seven of Pentacles. So this is kind of what I was just talking about, where something going on makes you look at things differently and makes you realize that, you know what, I was putting too much into this situation, too much effort, too much time, too much worry, whatever it is. And then you decide, I'm not going to do that anymore. And what happens is you put yourself first. You put yourself first. You're retrieving your destiny. You're retrieving your power. So you will never have to repeat this lesson again. Spirit says, you did a good job. You're moving on. You're not looking back. That chapter is closed. And so I feel that now what's happening is you're slowly planting the seeds. You're slowly rewriting your story, right? You have the typewriter here. You're taking time out to think about, what is your next move? Where do I go from here? What do I want to do from here? And I feel like you don't feel like you're in a rush. You're kind of putting time aside. You're listening to your heart, and you are open to this change. I just feel like you are so open to this change. Yeah, because now that you see the situation for what it really is, you're seeing that you were doing it all on your own. You had no help in that situation. Nobody was respecting you. No one respected the amount of time and energy you put into a situation. First of all, it was unsustainable. Second of all, you deserve much better. It's really interesting. What I'm picking up is it was just one of those life lessons that we go through. You're going to learn a lot. And I feel also the timing could not be any better for you seeing the radical truth of a situation, moving on from a situation, and letting go of this burden that you are carrying. Because I feel like you carried this burden for so long that you didn't realize how heavy it was until you stopped for a minute and you evaluated things. And then it was kind of like, what am I doing? And then I just see you just letting go of these wands here. You feel so much lighter, so much lighter. Remember I was talking about that? I think I mentioned that, how you go through this transition, you get your wings, and then you just, it's like you fly wherever you want to fly. And if something doesn't resonate with you, you don't stay there. You keep on moving. So here we have the Four of Wands. How beautiful is this? Okay, let me show you here. Remember the Eight of Wands, how you have the flowers that are blooming on the wands? So a change of direction, something that's happening very, very quickly at first, okay? It's like you get this radical truth and it flips everything upside down. But when you get into the evaluation point, phase where you're looking at things, you're, contemplating things, you're getting closure. This you take as long as you want here. It can go fast, it could go slow, that's up to you. But look at this. Because this happened, that radical truth, what's happening is you're being guided in a different direction. So these flowers that were here are now here with this Four of Wands, where you're building a new life for yourself. You're rewriting your story. That plot twist actually turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to you, or maybe one of the best things that's ever happened to you. You're rebuilding something. There's a lot of peace here. There's comfort here. Things are coming together for you here. There's a very strong foundation here, whereas before it was very, very shaky, very unstable. There's a massive, huge, huge, huge celebration here. There's a new community of people, I feel. Within this community, everybody is on the same page. You don't have to worry about people hiding the truth from you, or people selling you a lie, or pretending to be someone or something, like misrepresenting something. That's not going to happen here. There's a lot of support here from people. The Knight of Wands. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, the speed of you moving away from the situation once you find out the truth is almost unbelievable. You don't have to convince yourself that you don't need to be in that situation anymore. You see the truth of it and it's like, okay, I'm done. You close the book and you pack your bags and you move on. So for some of you, that's literal. Some of you are going to be moving out of your current home or out of your current residence, like your city that you're in. And I'm telling you, you're moving on. There's no looking back. And it's not like you have to talk yourself out of looking back. You literally don't want to look back, and you absolutely don't look back. So, I mean, I think that's very healthy. This isn't like an unhealthy not looking back. This is, I mean, it's like you get instant closure almost. And yeah, down the road, you may look back a little bit and reflect, but you're not dwelling on the situation. And you just figure out things as you go. Like this, whatever this is that's happening, you know that you deserve better. And that's part of the reason why you just pick up and move into something new, because you know that this no longer deserves any more of your energy. The Judgment card, I mean, do you see this person here? So she has her hands up on her head like, what just happened? And I feel that's what you're going to do. But once you get your thoughts, once you get your bearings about you, and you actually see that, okay, well, that really did happen. You just say, I'm not going to waste any more of my time. So something has happened. I mean, we talk about radical truth. There's also radical change. but for some reason, it's not really that scary to you. So I feel subconsciously you knew that something wasn't right. Subconsciously, you knew that this situation was sitting on a fault line and eventually it was all going to crumble, which it does. And I think that more than anything, it's a sense of relief for you, kind of a sense of relief that you're not the one that has to approach the conversation or approach the initiation of leaving a situation. It's like, oh, okay, well, this happened, so you did my dirty work. So let's go ahead and wrap this up and bye. You know, with whatever the situation is, it doesn't have to be with a person. It could be a person, place, thing, or situation. And that's it. You're like, okay, well, that was easy. And then you just move on from it. So it's very much like a phoenix rising from the ashes, very much a sense of freedom. And, you know, we're talking about shining light on what's on your mind. The light is shown. And if this hasn't happened yet, it's going to happen very, very soon. So for some of you, this already happened and you're already kind of in this process. And this is just confirmation that you're on the right path. And then others of you watching this, you might say, oh, yeah, I know exactly what she's talking about here with the Judgment card. Because it's like you have this subconscious thought about something's not quite right. What should I do? You know, well, you don't necessarily have to do anything if you don't want to. You can wait for the crumble to happen. Or you can take the initiative and, you know, start that process of moving away from it now. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. You can stay in the situation and kind of step into the Seven of Pentacles and start coming up with a game plan of how to move forward. It's up to you. It's not like it's unsafe where you are. I feel like, you know, it's okay to stay there. Like there's no like immediate danger or anything like that. So yeah, you can do what you want, but just know that it is going to come to an end and it's to your best benefit. Look at this. Remember when I was saying that it couldn't have happened at a better time? It's absolutely true here. And you know, things are changing drastically for you. Drastically. Yeah, with this, oh my gosh, this is so powerful. So the Wheel of Fortune can talk about, you know, destiny, fate, things like that. What do you have here? Retrieve your destiny. So there's something within your soul that you haven't completed yet in this lifetime that you will now be on the road to completing. You will be on the road to starting something new, to stepping into a new place or situation around different energies, different people. And it's supposed to happen at this point in your life. No other time would this have worked perfectly. So for some of you, the situation that you were in, it was just a placeholder. And that could be why at first those subconscious thoughts didn't really come up, because it was just a placeholder. And I feel like that's probably why it's so easy for you to walk away from something. And it might not be easy at first, but I feel like, you know, within a couple weeks, you're kind of like, you know, I'm glad that's over. The Four of Swords. Yeah. There was something very, very unhealthy about this previous situation. And it wasn't sustainable. It just absolutely was not sustainable at all. It wasn't healthy. You know, look at the Ten of Wands. I mean, you could not keep going that direction. Now, the other thing that I'm seeing with the Four of Swords, especially with it lined up with the Seven of Pentacles, once again, Spirit is saying you do not need to rush this process. Take as long as you need. If you need to heal from something, you can absolutely do that. If it takes you 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, that's perfectly fine. I feel for most of you, it's not going to take that long. And, you know, just rest, cleanse your energy. Like literally, you might want to sage your energy, take a salt bath, you know, get some Reiki, something, and then move on to your future. The Seven of Cups. Yeah. Yeah, the truth is coming to light. Absolutely. The truth is coming to light. And you are you're seeing things that you didn't see before, but you're also, okay, so you're seeing things that you didn't see before within the situation, but you're also seeing things that you didn't see before regarding your destiny. Now, what's going to happen once you get through all of this, once you heal from the situation, you cleanse this energy, scrub this energy off of your body, you're going to, okay, it's like you see this thing with your destiny that is so obvious. It's like, how didn't I see this path before? But the thing is that it wasn't time for you to go into this new pathway before. That's why it was kind of hidden from you. So just keep that in mind. So shining light on what's on your mind. Spirit is saying, do not spend the rest of your life trying to figure out this situation if it doesn't make sense, because I see you getting closure very, very quickly. So if some of you are not able to get closure very, very quickly, this message is for you. Don't spend the rest of your life trying to figure it out, because Spirit says that I have just explained it to you, why you had a detour, why you were over here, why you thought this is where you were supposed to be when you are really supposed to be over here. It's just one of those things. This wasn't ready for you yet. It is now, and that's why it's happening now. So you don't need to dwell on the whys. I feel most of you won't. But if you do, just, try to let it go. Maybe meditate on it. And Spirit is saying that it's definitely possible that you will be able to connect all of the dots later on. All right. The Fool card. Oh my gosh. Does this not describe your entire reading? It just kind of sums it all up. So if you don't know what the Fool card means, this is you, right? In this particular reading, understanding the truth, seeing the truth of a situation, and you walking away from a situation, accepting that that is no longer where you're supposed to be. You're heeding the call of the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Cups, and retrieve your destiny. You're moving forward. You're doing things for yourself. You have called your power back. And you're not afraid of change. Maybe a little bit. I'm talking about like, you're not, what's the word? I can't think of the word. You're not paralyzed by fear of change. And oh my gosh, you have so many blessings coming in your life. So many blessings. Oh my gosh. Yeah, look at this. You have the Fool card that's directly connected to the Four of Wands, where you're building this new life. Everything is coming together for you. I'm telling you, new places, new people, new things, new energies, new vibrations. It's amazing. So I wish you so much luck. If you enjoyed this reading, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching.